Well, hello, everybody. Welcome back to day 2 of my mini series on developing an entrepreneurial mindset. So, yesterday we talked about this concept of the 80-20 rule, and today we're going to really lean into the power of these two simple letters and what they can actually mean for your business. And so, yesterday, right, I set this stage for this mini series for those of you that are really wanting to launch a business, or you currently own a business and you're trying to get a little bit more disciplined in the activities that are going to help you move the needle forward and really create the life that you are after. And so one of the things that I personally, as a business owner, have a really, really hard time with is this word, no. And maybe you're the same way, or I don't know if you're like the yes lady where you constantly are like, yep, I'll do that. Yes, I'll volunteer. Yes, I will be the party parent. Yes, I will run the clothing drive. Yes, I will bake the cookies for the Christmas party. And yes, I will host that team call on a Monday night at 9 o'clock for the 4th night in a row. And what happens when you become a yes person is you ultimately suffer. Your personal priorities suffer, the things that matter most to you suffer, your health may end up suffering, and your business does too. And I'm not saying that you should say no to everything, but I want us to get really, really good at those two little words, no. And then I always encourage you to add thank you onto the end to keep it sweet. So let's talk about this. Why have I gotten really good at saying no? Well, because I was actually really bad at saying no for quite some time. I actually was horrible at saying no, and that really came back to bite me in the butt. So let me explain that to you. You know, as a business owner, as somebody that's entrepreneurial minded, I look at every single opportunity as an opportunity to get in front of people, to make an impact, to change somebody's life. And when I first launched my business, I was running and I got certified to teach live fitness classes. And teaching fitness classes is not a passion of mine, but it's something I did because I saw it as a connector, as a way for me to get in front of other people and to be able to introduce them to the services and the products and the way that I could support other people. And so it was a really great connector for me. And I was starting at ground zero. I didn't have a following. I didn't have a local network. I didn't have any credibility. So this was great. This was a natural step for me to get started. And I had built my live classes up and we were selling out all of the spaces in the room, which is awesome. And the place that I was teaching asked me if I would add on a second day. And so I said yes, and I started teaching a second day. Well, as we got a little further into things, they asked me if I would add on a third day. And I can remember immediately saying yes, but then regretting that because I started to think through, if I say yes to another evening of teaching group fitness classes, that is essentially an hour preparation. Get to the class, get set up, teach the class for an hour, stand around and talk to people for 10, 15, sometimes 20 minutes. By the time I get home, it is a 3-hour time span. And in that 3-hour time span, I am making maybe $20 or $30 per class, teaching a class, and maybe I'll make a sale or somebody will participate in a group that I'm running. It's not guaranteed, that it's not likely, it's more of a connector, right? And so I realized that I could make more money by sitting at my computer. I could quadruple the amount of income that I made by showing up on social media and inviting people to my accountability groups, by creating content and live videos and blog posts and tutorials for other people. And I could take that 3 hours that I was spending teaching a live class, and I could make a wider impact and scope if I focused that time and energy on my social media. So I cut down, I said no to that third class, and I eventually cut all the way back to not teaching at all, because that, again, wasn't my passion, but I also saw what was giving me the the most income, right? Because that was a goal for me, was really creating a business that was sustainable for my family and my life. So saying no was really important in that moment. All right. Other things that I've learned to say no to is I love, love, love my children. Love them. They are like the center of my world. My marriage with my husband is utmost of importance to me. And so every day there are these opportunities for me to participate in activities. So volunteering on committees for the kids' school, being a parent helper, doing field trips, being the copy parent, party parent, planning, all of the things. And so these things come into my inbox and I decline them unless they are something that my kids have expressed. Hey, mom, I really want you to be a party parent. Or, hey, mom, would you come in and read to my class? I will say yes to those things because they fit into my priorities with my children. So if I'm going to say I'm going to volunteer, I want it to be something where I'm directly connecting with my child because I run two full-time businesses. And honestly, it doesn't bring me joy to volunteer for everything. But I don't mind going in once a month, reading to the class once a month, doing a party when they have a party. But I don't need to say yes to everything. That doesn't make me a bad parent. So I've learned to say no in that specific area. Even within my day-to-day business activities, there are things that people will ask me to collaborate on or to do for them. And before I say yes to anything, I always I give myself 24 hours and I say, is this in line with my priorities? So if I say yes to doing this call for somebody else, or if I say yes to this one-on-one call, I am taking away time from another area, whether it's my personal life or my business. Is that serving me in the direction I want to go? Ask yourself that simple question and use that as your pulse. The last thing I'm going to tell you is along the way, I have said no to fun things. And this is where I just am going to get raw with you. If you want to build a business, if you want to make money and you want to grow to whatever magnitude, it could be a millionaire, it could be multimillionaire, and it could be $100,000 or just $500 extra a month. You have to say no to something in order to make this thing the main thing. That means that I, for a while, said no to watching Netflix series, to, going out with my friends on a random Tuesday afternoon while the kids were at school, because my short-term vision was getting my business set up during my daytime hours so that eventually I would have flexibility and freedom to do other things I wanted to do. So I was disciplined to say no to extra play dates, to skipping the kids' naps and going certain places. I said no to certain events because I knew that I needed that time to get to my goals, because in the short term it was a sacrifice, but in the long term I was going to live the kind of life where I would have the freedom and flexibility in an established business to be able to pick and choose what I wanted to participate in. Short-term sacrifice, long-term success. So guys, I want you to look at your calendar and say, what am I saying yes to? What on my calendar is actually being dictated by other people that I can take control back? And if you can find 10 hours a week, you can build a significant foundation for a successful business by being purposeful and planned. We're going to talk a little bit more about that in the other series that I'm going to be putting out here this week. All right. Okay, my friends, if today was helpful, drop me a comment below. Let me know what additional questions you have, and I will see you tomorrow for day 3 of our mini series.